Little Kansas Kitty, and I welcome you back to my weight loss surgery channel. I had the RNY gastric bypass surgery on June 25th, 2018, so that was a little over 2 years ago. I started off my high weight at 238 pounds. I'm 5'6", I'm 40 years old, and I lost 100 pounds. I created a maintenance range for myself of 138 to 145, 7-pound range, and I have been pretty much maintaining for a year and 4 months now, I believe. I do tend to stick to the higher end of my range. Let's jump on the scale, see where I am today. As you can see, I'm at 146, and I have been feeling a little fluffy this past week. I am seriously considering changing my maintenance range because it has been a long time since I've been down in the low part of my range, and I tend to stick in the higher end. I did have butt implants put in that weighed a couple pounds, so definitely playing with the idea of changing my maintenance range. Was a little bit more snacky last week, have to admit it. You know, when it's so hot out, I get more tired, and when I'm tired, I tend to lean towards comfort food. I get a little bit more lazy, and so that's what I did. I definitely did a little bit more snacking in the past week, but the week before that I was feeling super skinny, so it's just like it's always up and down, I feel like, from week to week. When I look at food, when I'm being intentional, I look at that food item, and especially when I'm needing a snack and I go into the kitchen and it's so readily available when I'm working from home, and I look at the food and I think, what will this do for my body? So take a banana, for example. I look at the banana, and this is just like basically not really thinking too much about keto or low carb. I look at the banana and I think, that looks really good. That will be good for circulation for my body, and that's how I look at it. Then I might look at having some spinach or some greens with my eggs in the morning, and I know that that is going to be packed with rich nutrients and vitamins that are going to give me a boost of energy for the day. Any kind of meats like fish or turkey, or just any kind of protein or meats, I look at it, I'm like, that is a good source of protein. That's gonna fill me up. Also, sometimes after I've had something to eat and I wait for a little while, I still try to follow the rules as much as I can to try to wait about 20 minutes before I start drinking again after a meal, because when you have a gastric bypass, you are not to drink with your food, with your meals, because that flushes it through you too fast. So I do try to stick to that as much as I can. And sometimes I'll have a little glass of, just like a little glass of almond milk. That's really gonna fill me, and it's gonna be good for my heart, and it's got some good healthy fats in it. If I need something sweet, I'll maybe grab an apple, and I know that's packed full of vitamin C, and the saying, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. I don't think there's any really clear evidence or studies that really say that, but they do say that those people that eat an apple a day tend to have fewer prescriptions. Easier said than done, but when you look at food and you ask yourself, how is this going to benefit my body, you're taking the mindset of food is fuel. And when you look at food as fuel, it's everything. It's your energy, your mood, your skin, your personality. You can choose how good you want to feel, and that's all based on what you put inside. Fitness-wise, I ran a lower mileage this past week. I ran about 56 miles. Week before, I ran 63 miles. This coming week will probably be about 70 miles. We are finding that we're running a lot slower right now, so on an average of 30 to 45 seconds per mile slower than we were before. And so typically we run about a 9:52 pace, 10 pace, and we're finding that we're in like the 10:20, 10:30, even 10:45 on some of our longer runs. And it's the heat. It's just the heat has really impacted us. I have been super lazy with my arms, and tis, I do this all the time. I can go out and run. I can run 20 miles like I did on Friday, and I can't come home and do my little push-ups. I just don't have the motivation to do it for some reason, and I got to get back with it. And I think where it all started was a few weeks ago. I slept over at my man friend's house, and I fell asleep on his couch. And the way that I was laying there, like on my arm, I woke up in severe pain. Like I screwed something up on my arm, and that's just being 40 years old and sleeping funny can give you aches. And so we ended up moving to the bed. And have to tell you something funny about that. I woke up at like 5 a.m. just like clockwork. My body just wakes up really early. It doesn't matter if it's the weekend or not. And I look over and he was still asleep. And so I kind of like quietly rolled out of bed and I snuck over and I got my makeup bag and I went to the bathroom and I like brushed my teeth and I combed my hair and smoothed it out because it gets really fro-like. And I just like freshened up a light like makeup. I put a little lotion on and then I went back into bed and I kind of just like creeped back in really quietly and he was still asleep, and it was just like I felt like it was totally the movies. And I closed my eyes, and still a year out of us just kind of casually seeing each other, and I'm putting my best foot forward always still. And so he wakes, I could hear him wake up, and he just looks over at me, and I just open my eyes, and I was just like, a little princess waking up next to him. And yeah, it was like totally like the movies. I had to giggle because here I'm all like fresh and pretty, but I cannot even move my arm because I slept on it, buddy. Anyway, that's where it started, and I got to get back with it. And I promise you, I am going to get back. Next time I report back, I'm going to get some arm strength again, because all it takes is 3 weeks. 3 weeks of consistently me doing my assisted push-ups, and I am good to go. I'm good to go again. So promise you, we'll report back. I did have my 2-year follow-up, so my 2-year post-op with my weight loss surgery surgeon this week, and I had my labs taken earlier in the week where they just run everything, and unfortunately those numbers were not in time yet from the lab when I had my appointment, so I don't know where I am. I imagine I'm doing just fine because all of my other lab results have always been on target and in range. So I'll report back when I do get those lab numbers back. However, everything went great. Everything went really, really well. I did have to sit in the exam room chair, and it's super cool because it actually lifts you up, and that is the scale. It measures you and weighs you. So pretty neat how that works. I was up on my weight this time versus the last time I went to visit, and I was bummed about that because you want to make them proud. You just want to make your doctor so proud. And my surgeon was like, don't you worry at all. First of all, you ran 20 miles this morning. And she's like, I'm 8 pounds up myself. And she's like, she's just like an average woman, older woman. And she's like, it's COVID. It's COVID-19. Everybody's coming in here and they've all gained a little weight. And what you need to do is have that number in your head, that number on the scale that you will not allow yourself to get over. And I was like, oh yeah. I have that number in my head. And I know that if it goes up too high, I'm like, and she even said it before I said it. She was like, then all you do is you have some low carb days and you bring your number right back down. And I was like, exactly. That's what I say all the time. And I've been doing that a lot. So I felt fine that my weight was up a little, but I'm confident that I can get it, right back down again. My surgeon told me that from here on forward, we will just have annual visits, annual check-ins, and for the rest of my life. So it's great to know that I have that support system. And she said, basically, unless something happens, unless, you have a concern, or if you gain 10 pounds, she's like, if you gain 10 pounds, you give me a call right away because we want to catch it. We want to help you. We want to be there for you before 10 pounds turns into 20 or 30 pounds. They did say that they had a Sozo machine, which they asked if I wanted to go ahead and take advantage of it and do kind of a screening on it. And basically it's one of those machines that does a quick body and tissue analysis. And I was like, yes, please. I've always wanted to do one of those. So I was really excited that they got one of those machines in. And basically it gives you percentages back on your fat-free mass, your fat mass, your skeletal muscle mass, your total body water, your BMI, your protein, your mineral, et cetera, all kinds of numbers analyzing with you just basically standing on this kind of scale type thing and putting your hands in, and it just reads everything in your body. So it's super cool. The areas that I was most interested in or most intrigued by were the fat mass percentage. And the fat mass percentage, so that's the total like body fat, I guess, that you have in your body was 21.1%. I had no idea if that's good, that's bad, that's average, or what that actually meant. And some of you may know much more about that. So I just kind of went online, Googled some charts, and it actually, as a 40-year-old woman, it put me into the lean category. So the lowest category of body weight, fat or whatever, and I was at the higher end of the lean category. So I was like, hey, that's pretty cool, and that kind of puts me in the athlete fit category. Also, I love finding out what my metabolic basal rate was, and basically that is the number of calories required to keep your body functioning at rest. And so without any of my runs added in, just my daily caloric intake came out to 1,398 calories, basically 1,400 calories. It's like, hey, that sounds about right in terms of where I'm maintaining, because I typically on an intentional day will have 2,100 calories about a day. And my runs, I average at burning about 800-900 calories on those days. And so you take in consideration days that I may have more than 2,100 calories, and you take in consideration runs where I'm running longer runs, it just all kind of balances out. And that is how I have been able to be successful at maintaining this body weight. On a personal note, I think on my last video I mentioned kind of my obsession, one of my addictions is lottery scratch off tickets. And it was pretty cool because I went downstairs to go send an email, and I was just like checking some of my printed lottery tickets that I purchased that week, and one of them was Lotto, and I was checking my numbers like I do, and it was for the drawing the night before, and I was like, oh cool, I got a number right. I mean, like, I never get numbers right, like not even like maybe one number, but not rarely. I'm just like, throw it away, So I was like, oh cool, I got a number right. I was like, oh my gosh, I got the second number right. Oh my gosh, I got the third number right. Oh my gosh, I got the fourth number. Holy shit, I got the fifth number right. And then I missed the sixth number. So I got 5 out of 6 numbers right. And I was like panicking. I was like, oh my gosh, my heart was about to leap out of my chest. I was just like, oh my gosh. And so I looked to see what like the average winnings was going to be. And I was like, not like crazy. I was thinking I was like going to be way up there. And so I contacted one of my friends who works for the Missouri Lottery. And she's like, download the app, scan your ticket. It'll tell your winnings. Text me right back. And I checked and I won $683. And the odds of that was like 1 in 15,000. And had I gotten all 6 numbers right, I would have won $4.4 million. Oh well. Hey, I was $683 richer than the day before. And this has been one of those weeks, as a single mommy, money in, it seems like the money goes out in the household just as fast. My son's car broke down, there's $1,000 there. My son got his wisdom teeth taken out, there was a cost there. And I did get my little winnings. So money in, money out. As you can see, I did donate plasma today. I got $75 from that. So it's just a constant, I'm always hustling on the side, and it's just a constant flow in and out, kind of like your body, calories in, calories out, right? This upcoming week, I'm going to be doing some art modeling again, and a art model is someone that poses for a visual artist as part of the creative process. And often that is done via figure drawing. And I have modeled in the studio before. It is nude and it's challenging. You will have to hold poses for a lengthy amount of time. I'll be there for 3 hours, changing into a few different poses, and pay is on average typically $20 to $30 an hour. I was about 50 pounds heavier the last time that I modeled for these artists, and there will be 6 artists. I'll be on a stage in the center, and they will be all the way around me. And these may be some different artists than they had the last time, but they are really excited and eager to draw from life again because of the pandemic. They have not been able to, and so this will be a good experience. The beauty of art modeling is that the human body comes in all different forms. It comes in all different ethnicities, different ages, different races, different shapes, different genders, and you don't have to be a certain physique. Artists embrace and love variety and need practice drawing all kinds of figures, and I will plan to update a little bit more about my experience afterwards. So let's just chat about sensuality for a moment. A woman of any size can possess this, and it's about experience freedom and feeling alive and feeling confident and also just being grateful for your body. And men can sense sensuality if you are a size 4 or you're a size 24. If you've got it, you've got it. It's that gleam in your eye. It's that sultry smile on your face. It's that self-awareness of sensuality. So over the course of your weight loss journey, love yourself at every stage. Embrace it. Tell yourself, I am an effing babe and my weight does not define me.